Do you believe that history teachers talk about the causes of World War I while meeting for lunch, or that nuclear physicists utilize their tea breaks at scientific meetings to discuss quarks? On a few occasions. However, usually, they gossip regarding the dean who caught her husband cheating, the altercation between the head of the department and the professor, or the rumors that a teacher used his research money to purchase a Lexus. Despite their numerous variances, all human species share several defining attributes. Most strikingly, humans have enormous brains than other animals. Mammals that weigh 60 kilograms possess an average brain size of 200 cubic centimeters. 2.5 million years ago, the earliest men and women carried brains of about 600 cubic centimeters. Rather than putting our earnest efforts towards trying to fly to every destination, they had consciously chosen to provide only point-to-point flights. Instead of raising the prices to cover the cost of meals, they thought beyond the conventional domain and served none. Instead of allocating seats in advance, they let people pick them up as they board the plane.
From the salad days of the cognitive revolution, sapiens have thus been spending life in a dual reality. On the one side, the objective reality of water bodies, trees, and animals, and on the contrary, the imagined fact of creators, countries, and companies. With time, the imaginary reality became ever more robust, so that in the modern era, the very survival of rivers, trees, and lions thrives primarily on the classiness of imagined entities like gods, nations, and corporations. It's relatively comfortable to believe that only Homo sapiens can discuss things that don't exist and think of 6 impossible scenarios before breakfast. For example, it is impossible to convince a monkey to give you a banana by telling him seamless bananas supply after death in monkey heaven. However, why is it significant? After all, fiction can be overly misleading or deflecting. We have been trained from a young age that hard work is the optimum method for producing results, and many of us have been amply awarded for our output and our potential to handle every task or challenge the world puts in front of us. Yet, for capable people leaving no stone unturned for success, are there limits to the significance of hard work? The island of Java, in Indonesia, accommodated Homo solensis, a man from the Solar Valley who had traits to live in the tropics. On another Indonesian island named the small island of Flores, archaic humans experienced a process of dwarfing. Humans first lay feet on Flores when the sea level declined considerably, and reaching the island from the mainland was easy. Humans, like chimps, have social intuitions that empowered our ancestors to forge friendships and rankings and to hunt or battle in unison. Nevertheless, like the social intuitions of chimps, those of humans were acclimated only to tiny, close-knit groups. When the group expanded, its social order was jeopardized and the band broke. A large brain, using tools, superior learning prowess and complicated social structures are massive benefits. It is a gospel truth that these have made humankind earn the distinction of the most powerful animal on Earth. Unfortunately, however, humans savored all these advantages for 2 million years, during which they remained fragile and marginal creatures. Wolves and chimpanzees cooperate more easily than ants, however. They can do so only with a few other individuals with whom they have intimacy. On the other hand, sapiens can cooperate in exceptionally flexible ways with innumerable numbers of strangers. That's why sapiens dominate other species, whereas ants survive on our leftovers, and chimps are in captivity in zoos and research laboratories. The alpha male generally gets his coveted position, not because of his physical prowess but because he manages a significant and steady collaboration. These coalitions are pivotal during unconcealed challenges for the alpha title and in almost all day-to-day pursuits. Members of the group spend more time jointly, share eatables, and support one another in turbulent times. Under the natural environment, a usual chimpanzee troop contains around 20 to 50 individuals. As the number of chimpanzees in an army inclines, the social order disrupts, ultimately leading to a breakup and a few animals' creation of a new troop. Only in a few cases have zoologists monitored groups of more than 100. In the growth of the cognitive revolution, gossip supported Homo sapiens to create more extensive and steady bands. However, even talk has its limitations. Sociological research has exhibited that the maximum natural size of a group fostered by gossip is about 150 individuals. Most people can only discreetly know and speak efficiently on 150 human beings. When in 1896, Armand Peugeot wished to form his company, he hired an advocate to follow all the sacred procedures. Once the lawyer had done all the legitimate rituals and enunciated all the required spells and oaths, millions of exemplary French denizens behaved as if the Peugeot organization existed. Narrating compelling stories is a daunting task. The challenge lies not in telling the story but in persuading everyone else to express solidarity with it. Much of history pivots around this question: how does one convince millions to accept specific stories about gods, countries, or limited liability companies? Most mammals emerge from the womb like glazed earthenware from a kiln. Any attempt to remodel their conventional will scratch or break them. On the contrary, humans appear from the womb like molten glass from a furnace. They can be spun, stretched and shaped in numerous ways with a degree of freedom. It is why today, we can educate our children to follow the religion and society of their choice. Many experts reckon that the first animal domesticated by Homo sapiens was the dog, which happened before the agricultural revolution. Experts have doubts about the exact date. However, we have irrefutable evidence of domesticated dogs from about 15,000 years ago. They may have united the human pack thousands of years earlier. It's a mystery why we crave the sweetest and most oil food we can fetch until we ponder the eating patterns of our forager forebears. In the savannas and forests they inhabited, high-calorie sweets were rare, and food in routine was in short supply. A typical forager 30,000 years ago, only one type of sweet food was available, ripe fruit. Sapiens did not pasture only to pamper their appetite. They foraged to gain knowledge as well. To survive, they required a clear mental map of their area. To improvise the effectiveness of their daily search for eatables, they needed information about the development patterns of each plant and the mannerism of each animal. Most top predators of the planet have earned the distinction of being majestic creatures. Millions of years of dominion have inculcated self-confidence in them. On the contrary, sapiens behave more like a banana republic dictator. In the recent past, we were one of the underdogs of the savannah. Due to this, we possess umpteen fears and anxieties over our position, which makes us highly cruel and